Hello, my dear followers, my dear friends from Kadma Denan, min Kadim El Zaman. Thank you for listening. And this is lesson number 4 in Kabbalah Hebrew Crazy School, which is called Kabbalah Hebrew School and not Kabbalah Jewish School. For a reason. ומתחילים. So today I had a little discussion, a little debate with myself when I was using a lot the word ahi, which is the Hebrew version of bro, with the adds of the Yaman dialect. Because usually it sounds achi, right? From the Ashkenazi point of view. But when you add the cool Yaman dialect, it's much more fun and it sounds ahi. So I said to myself, ahi, maybe we do this lesson in Hebrew. I mean, the statistics show that people are more into your Hebrew lessons because in English it's more hard for you to explain the unexplainable because you are not an English speaker, you fool. And after lots of ahi has been said, it's been decided by me and myself that we will do this lesson in English in spite what the statistics showed, because I am a keeping his word kind of guy, because keeping your word in this crazy world is pretty rare. And for me to say word and then world and then rare is to say 3 words that it's really hard for me to pronounce. So, well done to me! So let's talk a little bit about flat earth. Now, I have no desire to convince you that you were wrong and that all of us has been taught false information about bullshit and bullshit about false information ever since kindergarten by any major institution. So if you like a capitalistic pro-system kind of people, you should check out the ODD channel, the Rob Skiba channel, the Eric Dubay channel, and many other channels that deal with proving to these kind of people why they were wrong. This is not my purpose, this is not my desire, and this is not what I'm going to do. Now, I'm going to assume that if you dig into this specific lesson, that you are already open-minded to listen and hear other people's perspective about reality. So now I'm going to ask a few questions that regarding to the occult and to our reality from a really, you can say, physical, even mathematical point of view. So the first question is, if the earth is flat, what is oil, right? I mean, we know that the molecular structure and the behavior of the particles within the molecule of oil is suspiciously similar to blood. Now you can, if you want, explain the similarity between oil and blood by the scientific mainstream explanation that suggests that oil is basically relics of dead bodies of many creatures that used to live on the surface long time ago and then died and then been rotten and been processed by the planet itself and turned to be, after a few millions of years, oil. That's why oil is similar to blood, because oil used to be blood. Now, this is an option, right? But we are a flat earthers. We are a truth pioneers. We are a truth investigators. We are a student of the truth and the occult. And we know that in most cases, the scientific mainstream explanation to pretty much every topic will be at best complete crap mixed with drops of mathematical truths to make you believe it, if not a vicious lie that rely on the stupidity of the people to even exist. So we will now suggest a new suggestion to what is oil and why oil is similar to blood. So if we are an individual users within this social hive we call society, what if the environment itself, this whole home base, this physical matrix we live in that we described as the earth that we're stepping on and the sky that we look above our heads and everything around us, including every ecological system that we know, is itself a user? What if what we call Mother Nature is actually Mother Nature? It's a mother and it has consciousness and it bleeds when you stabbed it. That's why oil is similar to blood, because it is blood. It's the blood of the earth itself. This earth itself have consciousness. It has feelings, and it is exist within a bigger environment that we are not aware of, like we explained in the past lesson about a matrix within a matrix within a matrix, like the Russian matryoshka, or like we accidentally named babushka, because babushka it's actually grandma, and the real what we call babushka, it's called matryoshka. So I glad that we correct this error in the Russian language. So what if oil is blood? That's why it's similar to blood. It's just the blood. It's not blood of dead bodies from ancient ago that been rotten and processed within the belly of the planet, because the planet is not round and it's not floating into space. The planet is the matrix itself, and it is a user within a bigger matrix, and it is bleed. And that's why, exactly like when we as creatures, and not just as human, but as creatures, when we bleed, is bad for our health, right? I mean, if you will bleed long enough, you will die. Exactly in the same way, when you extract the blood of the earth itself and use it to operate your machinery, it will be bad for the environment, because the environment, it is the owner of this blood, and you just extract the blood from deep within the earth. So it's really reasonable and far more a truthful explanation to why oil similar to blood. Now, all this is of course based on the assumption, like I said before, I have no desire to convince you that the scientific mainstream explanation, the heliocentric model, is bullshit. If you need to understand why does it bullshit, you will follow these channels I suggested. You will follow Rob Skiba, you will follow Eric Dubé, you will follow ODD, and there is really like a long list of flat earthers that took on themselves the mission to explain flat earth theory from the bottom to the top. This is not my job, so we will move to question number 2. If the earth is flat and the moon is self-illuminated object and not a mirror that reflects the light of the sun, but a self-illuminated object that exists like the sun within our system, does it possible to take its energy and turn it into electricity in a similar way to our solar panels? Now the last question, but the most important question, will be, if we are living in a 4-dimensional flat matrix that exists in a game that have many layers and many different sections with many different humanoids or human-like creatures that live side by side, or more likely floor above floor, with us, and it has been written partially in many different books of many different cultures and many different folklores, what should be our approach to ancient books from now on? I mean, if the Bible is not just a correct history book, but actually a manual to how this world works from our tiny perception, so what if we should give a hell lot of more respect to these ancient books? What if legends are not just legends, but history? What if the Lord of the Rings is an exact description of the different creatures that exist in this game? What if there is a reason why in Lord of the Rings there is 7 human-like creatures among the creatures that created by the Valar, the Maiar, or the Eru itself? I mean, we have trolls, orcs, elves, men, hobbits, ants, and dwarves. I mean, yeah, we have the eagles as well and the dragons, but they are not humans-like. So human-like creatures in the 3rd degree in Tolkien mythology is 7. And as well, the number of kingdom in Game of Thrones is 7, like 7 days in a week. Like this number just keep repeating itself in many versions of the fantasy stories. And it has a reason, because like we described in lesson number 2, there is 7 layers below and 7 layers above. Really, it is an important question to ask, and I'm not gonna give the answer to every question that I asked, because I not necessarily have an answer, and B, because this is not the point. The point is not to have an answer. The point is to keep asking the right questions. And with that have been said, we will see you next time.